What is happening, everybody? It is July 29th, 2025. We're getting closer to the regular season. We're not that far away. We're about a month and a little bit over a month away from the regular season. Um, we're ex- and we're getting there. And I'm sorry you guys could probably hear that, but anyways, we're getting there. We're getting pretty close. So yeah, we're gonna be doing some of the new Husky drafts today. Just a couple, and we're probably gonna sign off for the night. We might have a couple more coming in the coming days. I've already put in 5 or 6 entries, give or take. So yeah, I just want to make sure I'm getting my entries in here because I'm probably going to be taking a rather big break as far as entries go, just for budget reasons. I want to make sure that I get into the contests I like, and I'm going to be a lot more choosy with the contests I like because I've gotten in quite a bit of entries. So we're gonna do a 30-second countdown here, and we will get into it. So I'll see you guys after the countdown. All right. So we got the best luck possible in the first draft of the day on stream. We got the Streamer Luck 101. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see if we know any of these guys that I recognize. I don't recognize any of these names. So if you guys are in the chat, leave a comment, whatever. I don't recognize the names. That doesn't mean that I shouldn't or should know who you are. But yeah, we're definitely gonna go Jamar Chase. First pick. Pretty happy about that, honestly. Pretty stoked. Can't lie. Got to be happy with the Jamar Chase start. Starting the stream off right. That's 2 Jamar Chase teams in the Husky for me. For yours truly. That's payback for all the Nico Collins that I had to take in the Chow. So because I was always the 7th pick or later. So I took Nico, I took Amon-Ra, and I went with it. So I even took McCaffrey in this contest. So I finally got around to taking McCaffrey. So we're taking Jamar Chase definitely at the 101. I mean, there's not a doubt in my mind that that's who I'm taking. It's the only time I can get him. So anytime I can add a Jamar Chase share to my portfolio, I'm going to do it. And yeah. So like I said, July 29th, 2025, we're getting pretty close to the regular season. I mean, if we pull up the calendar, which y'all can see over here, we are, let's just say the 3rd. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sundays until the first kickoff weekend for Sundays of football. I'm excited, man. I mean, 5 weeks away, and we have been drafting all off season, waiting for this moment. Can't come soon enough, to be honest. I've been waiting for forever, it feels like, and it's been tough because there's been nothing to watch. And I think that's the toughest part about being a sports fan this time of year is there's really not a whole lot to watch outside of baseball. In baseball, let me tell you, the Angels suck. All right, the Angels just suck, and it's not fun watching them. It's not a pleasant experience. So, at the end of the day, it's not really fun to watch them either. So it kind of sucks. It genuinely sucks. But like I said, football drafts have been kind of holding me through. Puka Nacua off the board, 107, McCaffrey 108, Amon-Ra 109. Nothing too crazy so far. We've seen some crazy rooms today. I will not lie. I have seen a Puka Nico start. I have seen a Puka Amon-Ra start. I've seen a McCaffrey Nico, or was it a McCaffrey Nico? No, it was a McCaffrey Amon-Ra. McCaffrey Amon-Ra. I don't know why Amon-Ra is going down boards, but he is. Nico Collins at the 110 feels like a pretty good price at this point. I know his ADP is 10, but I would put him ahead of Amon-Ra and Puka at this point, and McCaffrey. I think Nico for me is the 107, so that's kind of where I'm at with it at this point. I don't really like McCaffrey at all. I have McCaffrey probably back here. I'd rather take any of those receivers than McCaffrey. I finally did take a McCaffrey share today in one high stakes, and I literally buried running backs behind him because that's just how you got to play it with him. I feel like if you're going to do it, capitalize on his upside and win the position. So that's how I feel with McCaffrey, and I just don't like to play that way. So that's where I'm at. We are going to be taking an interesting approach with this. I think with the Jamar Chase, I love that I got Jamar. We're kind of sort of hoping we're 9 picks away. We hope we can get 2 of these elite running backs is kind of the hope. If we can't, then we'll see kind of where it plays out from here. But the hope is we see Henry kind of falling a little here. Brock Bowers goes a little early. Then London goes off the board. We're seeing Derrick Henry kind of fall a little bit, which Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey is just such an insane start. I mean, if he doesn't go Derrick Henry, then the guy with Puka is going to get Puka Derrick Henry. That's insane as well. That's something you really like to see. Yep. And he gets Derrick Henry Puka. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Oh, and he passes. Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry. I mean, that's nuts. That's the nuts right there. Like we're cooked. We're done. MT won. MT won. He won the pod. We just got to get through the top 3 now because he just won the pod with that pick. let's be honest with ourselves. I mean, come on, man. Ladd McConkey is not a better pick than Derrick Henry at that spot. That's just no. Oh man. The people that play this contest are interesting folks. I mean, get your guy, I guess, but man, now the running back crew is coming along and this is rough. This is rough. We're hoping we can get Jacobs. We're praying we can get Jacobs because, oh, man, this is going to get rough if we don't. We're just going to have to play the receivers out and be sad about it. Okay, so we do get Jacobs. We're not taking Higgins. I'm not going to do the double stack. I don't want to. I don't want the double stack. I never have, honestly, wanted the double stack. I think we're going to bring up a quarterback here and go Allen and play it that way. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're gonna bring up the quarterback here, play Josh Allen. I think that's a really fun way to play this. I've seen more and more people doing this. I also do think the next round we double tap running back, or the next turn that we have, we double tap some running backs, and then we start really banging receivers. Tight end's going to be a little weak, but that's fine. That's fine with me. I mean, as long as I got 4 receivers by the time I hit round 11, I'm fine. That's kind of where I'm at. If I have a 1-3-4 build, I mean, that's round 9 right there, and I'm good with that. Totally fine with that. As long as that build's kind of intact, so to speak. Whatever falls to us, falls to us. I'm okay with Jacobs. I almost went Amarion Hampton, but I've got Amarion Hampton quite a bit, and Josh Jacobs. Honestly, if we go look at my exposures really quickly here, I believe I have more Jacobs anyway. Let's see, 7%. Okay, so yeah, I have way more Amarion Hampton actually. So yeah, that's fine with me. I'm good with that. I've got my Amarion that I want. 10% is about where I want to be. So I'd like to have a little bit more Jacobs, and I think Jacobs is a really studly running back to have, especially for this kind of build that we're aspiring to go for here. Breece Hall has been pushed up boards quite a bit, which we don't see that in this room. We're not going to get Breece Hall, obviously, 13 picks away, but we might get like a James Cook and a Kenneth Walker the next 2 or something, like a Kenneth Walker, Chuba Hubbard, maybe like something like that. Like we could probably swing. I don't know if I'm going to reach for Kamara. Just depends on what receivers are on the board. This is a very big thing about this contest is you need to get projected points, and it's such a small contest. You want to get projected points. I'd much rather be getting projected points than trying to make a build work. So, if the running backs just don't fall, they don't fall. Breece Hall fallen quite a bit here, though. This guy getting Breece Hall is a lifesaver, and he passes on him. This guy getting Breece Hall is an unbelievable value. Pick 40 Breece Hall with Amon-Ra, Drake London, and Devontae Adams. Passing on Derrick Henry doesn't bite him in the butt. I mean, take that for what it is. That's definitely something. I mean, it's nice to see. I will say also in my exposures, if we go look real quick, Josh Allen has been a guy that I've been pushing. Same with Lamar. I've been pushing these elite guys up. I just think the difference between them and everybody else is so big. Like it's 100 points. That's a lot of points if they stay healthy all year. Like, you know what I mean? Like the rushing upside of those 4 guys, the Jalen Hurts, the Josh Allen, the Jaden Daniels, and the Lamar Jackson, just the rushing touchdowns alone bring them up 100+ points. Like that's insane. And Burrow to even keep up with those guys has to have a season like he did last year. It's just tough. It's tough to catch that up with these guys. Like Purdy's a great example of a guy who can probably get to that or close to that. Same with Bo Nix. Those are guys that can maybe get there. Kyler's a guy who can get there. But like Josh Allen, the difference between those guys and Josh is Josh can throw. Josh does everything for his team, literally. And he's been pretty healthy, knock on wood. So, we like to see health prevail. We'll see if we can get Kenneth Walker here. If we can get Kenneth Walker, Chuba Hubbard, I'm walking away happy. All right. We're going to take Ken, and we're also going to take Chuba. We're going to double tap here. I would normally go Jamison Williams here, but I really don't know much difference between JMO and like my opinion on Jaden Reed. I love this start. This is amazing. Getting an elite quarterback up top where we really don't have to take one till way later. We have an anchor receiver, and then we got 3 guys here at running backs that could be RB1s any given week. I really like that. And normally Chuba Hubbard might fill that flex spot for us, which is really nice. So that wide receiver 4 that we're going to end up having, we'll see who it ends up being, but I think we can cover it is what I'm trying to say, which is really nice. I've been building like this in these. It's just, it seems so easy because like the running back area in this area is so thin. Like after Chuba Hubbard and Kamara, we're talking about James Conner, RJ Harvey, Travion Henderson. This RJ Harvey's obviously got the long-term outlook. So does Travion, but it's going to take some weeks to get there. These guys, we know they're in their roles. We know what they are, and we know how they're going to perform. Kamara is the same way. Like Kamara is another guy that I probably could pull up here over Chuba, but I'm not really willing to do that. But let's be realistic for just a moment here. And let's compare like Zay Flowers' season here, 172 points, where I can go down and click Jaden Reed, who's at 170 points as well, who had a quote-unquote down season last year, by the way, and still get a really good receiver piece there. Do I think that Zay has more upside? No. I don't even think Zay has more upside than Jaden Reed. Like Zay's just one example. Calvin Ridley, I think, has more upside than this season, this year. I also think Olave has better upside. I think Olave has potential to be this, which is a difference in the player. That's just player takes at this point. Addison, I think Addison is a very good click, especially because he's a touchdown machine. And honestly, I think he's really good. He's a good player to draft. And also, we got to think Justin Jefferson's not entirely healthy. We don't really necessarily know if he is healthy or not. I think that plays a little bit of a factor into this as well. So we're 10 picks away here. We're not going to be taking Burrow unless Burrow just falls to a huge value here, which at this point would be like pick 72 or something, which I don't foresee happening because we did not get T. Higgins. And T. Higgins is on – which team is T. Higgins on? He's on this team. So I would guess this team goes the Burrow route, but you never know in these rooms what happens. It depends on who's sharp, who's not. If I were him, I probably wouldn't because you got CeeDee Lamb too. So you don't have to go T. Higgins or Joe Burrow, but you can. I don't know that I would play that, but, it is what it is at the end of the day. This team here is just awesome. Although I would not have gone Chicago double stack. I probably would not have bet on the Chicago offense like that, but he got Ricky Pearsall, which is one of the guys I like to take. So that kind of sucks for me. He does go Burrow, which I'm fine with that. I mean, it makes sense. We're hoping that Addison can land in our lap, or we're hoping Diggs lands in our lap. If it's not one of those two, then maybe Judy. Addison goes off the board there. Unfortunately, he gets the Minnesota double, which I don't mind it. You're making a bet on J.J. McCarthy. If you want to make that bet, go ahead. It is what it is. I'm okay with pushing Jaden Reed up because we do want to get Jaden Reed here. Diggs goes off the board. All right, so that leaves us with the two options. Judy and Jaden Reed. We'll go ahead and take them. I like this. We got the Green Bay kind of double going here with Josh Jacobs and Jaden Reed. I think Green Bay's, you could have an outlook with them that their offense is going to be better this year. Jordan Love last year, you could look at it and say, man, that guy was not healthy. And I think that's a very valid point. You have to draft for that outcome as well. I don't think Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed blasted from the past, tied in from it would have been the Redskins at the time. But anyways, Jordan Love, guy that was not healthy last year. We all could see it pretty visibly. Still put up 244 points, still threw 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Didn't play every game. I mean, pretty much struggled to finish the year. Let's be honest. Um, 579 tips. Like if we see a Jordan Love season like this upcoming year, this 579 attempts for 41, 59, 32, and 11, that's a pretty dang good season, all things considered. Now, does he have a receiver one? No, he doesn't. But the fact that he's shown that he can do that is pretty significant. So that's pretty huge in that regard. Got another chase team? Yeah, we got lucky. First draft of the night. I said streamer luck, Shane. So streamer luck gets Jamar Chase. So we like to see that. And then we get a guy who did 1,200 yards last year, and then we get the guy that we like an upside. So yeah, I'd consider this a successful draft so far. And we got Josh Allen up top, sitting up top. So pretty successful start, I'd say. Maybe we can get Jordan Love and get a double. I'd be okay with that. I'd like to hammer down 2 more receivers. If we can get downs, that'd be great. Obviously, we're 15 picks away. We're not going to. 15 picks away, we're probably looking at, a Keon Coleman stack. Maybe we're looking at like Travis Kelce, Cooper Kupp. I don't even know that we'll get Cooper Kupp. Maybe we get Michael Pittman. These are just big maybes. If we can get Michael Pittman, that'd be big. I think Michael Pittman fits. There's a lot of buzz around Pittman at the moment with A-Rich. A-Rich is just peppering Pittman in camp. And I think A-Rich is the starter. I don't really care what anybody else says. I truly believe A-Rich is the starter. And I'm going to be, okay, I was about to make a statement, but he went off the board. If Joe Mixon's there at pick 85 or higher, I'm just taking him. I only have 4% of him. It's a good way for me to get exposures to him. And as a 4th running back, you literally could just wait till the end of the draft and get another one, and that's it. And you'd be done at running back. Like realistically speaking, I could wait till the final 2 rounds and just double tap rookie running backs and just call it a day. That might be what I do here. We'll just see kind of what value falls. But, the bye weeks kind of played out right to where we're good there. I'm not a big Ken Walker guy, but getting him as an RB2 with Chuba Hubbard there to complement it as well and Jacobs, I think this is a very sustainable RB room. And I do think that Chuba Hubbard's very durable. Jacobs has been very durable. Ken Walker's been the question mark. And if Ken Walker can play a full season, look out, because he's going to outperform this pick 48. He's going to outperform that, and he's going to be up in the Jacobs area and as far as performance goes. So I think that could definitely be a very viable pick for people who want him to be their RB1. I get it, but I'm not there with it. Like, it's going to be so hard to beat this team. Like, letting that guy get Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, and double the Chicago Bears double. I don't love it, but he got Pearsall, he got Pollard to fill in the rest of his RB. Like, this is nasty. This is disgusting. Like, his team and my team, like, they're kind of complimentary of each other. Only I got Jamar Chase and he doesn't. So, ha to him. But he's got Gibbs and Henry, while I'm sitting over here with Jamar Chase, Josh Jacobs, and Josh Allen. Like, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson regresses. I have Lamar Jackson as my QB3 behind Josh and Jaden Daniels this year. I think Lamar regresses quite a bit throwing the ball anyways. I don't know that he can continue what he did last season. We got a report here 3 hours ago. We don't know where Darnell Mooney is. It's been quiet. They say he's a few weeks out, but we don't know realistically what actually he is. And with that being said, it's kind of hard to click Darnell Mooney right now. I like Mooney, but it's really hard to click him. Keon Coleman off the board, which interesting reach there. A little bit of a reach on Keon. Kind of surprised he did that as the non-Allen owner. We're 1 pick away. Hopefully we get Pittman Kelce. That'd be the best double click here that we could possibly imagine. But we probably won't, knowing our luck. Let's see what he does here. Oh, okay. We get our perfect double tap here. Okay. Well, that's awesome for us. I mean, let's be real. Josh Allen, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Chuba Hubbard, Jamar Chase, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Reed, Michael Pittman at a value, and Travis Kelce. I mean, that's you can't ask for much better of a start, honestly. You genuinely can't. I love this start. Without Mooney, it's Pitts season. Oh boy. Are we buying the Pitts hype again? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I'm there. I mean, we can go look at my exposures of Kyle Pitts. I'm sure it's decent. Yeah, it's decent. I won't even lie. It is decent. Let's just go look at my Falcons as a whole real quick. That's the only thing I hate about drafting at the turn is like it's really hard to like keep engaged. Mooney, yeah, like we're pretty even across the board here. As far as the Falcons go, obviously I think I'm a big Drake London guy. Pitts I've been taking in the high stakes stuff just because I think the upside's there as a tight end 2. If we can get him as a tight end 2, I don't really want him as a tight end 1. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I will say my exposures right now, I'm done. There's guys I'm done just marking off my list of drafting. Judkins is one. Etienne's one. Is there anybody else that's up kind of high that I'm like done? Ford, I'm probably done. I'm definitely done on Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson was up to like 18% at one point. I'm done clicking that. It's too expensive for me. I already got my bag. Hampton, I'm probably done. He's moved up quite a bit more than I'd like. But I still click him at the turn sometimes. But I probably am done. I'm good with where I'm at. Chuba, I actually like that I'm clicking Chuba a little bit more. Jacobs, I'm not really as high as I'd like to be. Bucky, I've been clicking Bucky quite a bit today. I've been making it a priority to get my Bucky shares up a little bit. I'm not the biggest Bucky fan, but I really want him in high stakes because if he does boom again, we might be talking about him up here next year. And I want to make sure that I am prepared for that if it does happen. Because there's a very realistic chance we could put him ahead of Devon Achane next year. And I want to be a part of that conversation if it happens. If I can get a Bucky Irving, CeeDee Lamb start, or a Bucky Irving, Jefferson start, like I want to be a part of that, or a Bucky Irving Nico. Bucky Irving Nico's pretty nice too. I have a couple of those. So I want to be a part of that if I can. Jordan Love gets pushed up here. Yeah, Jordan Love gets pushed up quite a bit. That kind of sucks for us because I was hoping that might be our QB2. And he double stacks, or he stacks with Tucker Kraft, brings up Tucker Kraft and Jordan Love. That kind of sucks for us because we were hoping that could be our stack. That's okay. I'm okay with it. It's not a big deal. We could do I don't want to do an Indy double with Warren. I don't want to do that. Kelsey, we don't have the stack there with Mahomes. We don't really have to worry about stacking as much. I'm okay with just taking points at quarterback, honestly. If that's what happens to fall to us, that's just what falls to us. I'm okay. Let's see. Burden, I don't think is very good at this point. I think we're going to take Loveland over Warren. I think that's a really good call. Let's see. Sharps is not really a sharp pick for me. Spears, I'm not really here for. There's not really any receivers that I want that I can push that I'm like so hell bent on. Is there a quarterback that I can push that I really want to get here? Not really. Okay. So let's do this. I think we're going to take Herbert, which is a very boring pick, but we can stack it up with QJ later, and I'm good with that. So we're going to take Herbert a little bit above ADP here, and we're done at quarterback now. I think we can go Loveland here and be fine. Or Warren. Loveland or Warren? What do you think, chat? Loveland or Warren? We're going to try to do – I think we're going to go Loveland because, like I said, I think Loveland's a little bit better of a pick right now. I don't think Luther Burden is on the coach's good graces right now. Komet has been exclusively with the twos, and we really need to get our mindset on to where Komet was drafted as a top 10 draft pick this year, and Luther Burden was a second-round pick in a crowded wide receiver room. I think we really need to highlight that happened in the draft in real life, and I need to get my Loveland bags up because I feel like Loveland was taken ahead of Warren, and I barely have any Loveland. I have 7. I'm about even with Loveland. I'm a little bit higher on Warren, but I think Loveland is a great click. The more I've thought about it, the more it's like I really want to get more of this guy. I think getting Justin Herbert there really solidifies our quarterback room quite a bit. We don't have to look anymore, and that's the beauty of it. I think we take a running back here. We could push one up. I've been pushing Tank up quite a bit in these rooms. We're gonna try not to push Tank up. We might take the Najee bet. We could do the Miles Sanders fun. We could do the Austin Eckler fun. I'm okay with those options because I don't really know that they're that much worse than Tank Bigsby. Today a report came out that Etienne was the highlighted guy, Etienne this, Etienne that. It's so hard to know what Jacksonville is doing because Jacksonville doesn't know what Jacksonville's doing. So if we're being honest with ourselves, I don't think anybody really knows what Jacksonville's doing. So, and even Jacksonville doesn't know what Jacksonville's doing. So it's kind of hard to predict that team right now. We're hoping QJ can fall. If QJ doesn't fall, we're okay with it because we got 3 other options as well that we're just going to push up. Kincaid is also an option. I don't really think a third tight end is necessary. It could be a decent case here, but I think we need to get some more receivers pretty badly. I know Jamar can be a receiver for 2 people, but we also want to make sure that we have good supplementary pieces to Judy or to Jamar at the receiver spot. We already have the running back room covered. We have the quarterback room covered. Tight ends is pretty well covered. We have the upside play. We have the steady Eddie kind of guy. I know a lot of people probably haven't heard the steady Eddie statement in quite some time, but the old guy in me kind of uses it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I mean, the steady guy in Kelsey, I think Kelsey's extremely undervalued. It doesn't make sense to me. I get it. Kelsey's not what Kelsey used to be, but my God, he's still a very consistent tight end. Like he's still a tight end. That's a tight end 1. He's got the upside to break 30 points still. I think I get it. 3 touchdowns is not looking great. He's not going to have Rashee Rice the first few weeks. I think the first few weeks he's going to be great. That gives Colston Loveland some time to kind of get acquainted with the NFL. Hopefully Colston Loveland can break out before that. That's kind of the hope. And we're really hoping this guy doesn't go Quentin Johnston. He doesn't. Thank God. We get Quentin Johnston. Take it for what you believe it. We're taking Quentin Johnston. We're taking Josh Palmer. We're double smacking it. And we're patty whacking it. Yeah, I said it. I said it on a stream. I don't care. We're just going to take a double smack at it and move on. May sound crazy. It's fine. We don't need, realistically, I don't need Tank Bigsby on this team. We have 3 guys already that are super studs. If we get Eckler, Sanders, I'm cool with that. Like if that's who we end up with, even if it's Sanders and a last round rookie like Kroski, I'm okay with that. Kroski Merritt, I'm fine with that. Like I am more than happy clicking Kroski right now. He ran with the 1s today. Brian Robinson's nothing special. Let's be real. Brian Robinson is not really a guy that is super duper special. I've been clicking him recently because I think he is going to be the workhorse, but Kroski has a chance. I mean, let's be real. I think Kroski does have a chance. B-Rob just never really has shown anything special. This is his best season that we've seen. I mean, he's an 800-yard guy. It is what it is. That's just what he is. He's not anything special. We don't need anything special. And when I draft Brian Robinson, he's my RB5, and it's when I'm getting 3 or 4 of these studs already there. Like we won't be needing anything special on the bye weeks. We need 10 to 15 points upside there, and that's what Brian Robinson can be on a weekly given basis. I think 15 is like his ceiling, and if he can just muster up a few points on bye weeks on a bad week, that's what we need out of him. QJ and Josh Palmer. There's been some Josh Palmer buzz. Josh Palmer has looked like the best receiver in the room, not named Shakir. So, I think that they realize Keon Coleman is a lot more of a project than they anticipated him to be. And that's why they brought Josh Palmer in. I think Josh Palmer's a lot better than Keon Coleman. He's shown it. He's lived it. Keon Coleman just hasn't looked good at all. I think we could see one of these seasons just because of the quarterback play. I and the offense, honestly. I think we could see that season come back for Josh Palmer. I think he could end up being the best weapon in the Bills' offense, like as far as receiving weapons go. Shakir really is not like anything special, but he has the room to himself, so it makes life a lot easier for him, right? Like at the end of the day, it's making life a lot easier. So right now, I think we're kind of sort of not the Najee Harris disrespect right now is absurd. If we get news that Najee Harris is coming back like, 2-3 weeks and will be ready for the season or something like that, this price will never be here again. If Najee falls to me here, this is the most absurd, cheap Najee that I will be buying, and I will 110% be behind this. Because let's be honest with ourselves. Like, Omarion Hampton, as good as he is, yeah, I would have bought him too. Like, that's insane value. 164 and 140 Judkins. Like, you're feeling really good about that. Only 5 receivers: Lamb, Higgins, Waddle, Harris, and Bateman. Still doesn't have a tight end. I don't love the no tight end thing. I think he desperately needs one, but I'm not passing the Najee click. Like, I don't disagree with his sentiment there. I'm good with double clicking Douglas Miles here, just to bring Miles Sanders up the board a little bit, just because that's who I prefer in this range. We'll see what this guy does. Hopefully he doesn't smack Demario Douglas, because if he does, we're going to be deeply saddened. Okay, he smacks Wandale. Good for us. We'll take him, and we'll take him. All right, so that puts us at a 2-4-7-2 build. I think we're done at tight end. We're not done at receiver. We need probably one more, I would say. And we need one more running back. We don't need any quarterbacks. We could get another, like, we have the functionality right now to kind of do a little bit of everything. We could smack 2 more running backs and a receiver. We have 3 picks left, and we kind of have the flexibility to do what we want with it. So whatever falls to us, I think, is going to be best value here. If it's a third quarterback, we don't need a third quarterback, honestly. I think Allen and Herbert, if Allen is out, this team fails. So, I think that's the way we have to play this. If Herbert is good, Herbert fills in for that week 7 bye, maybe has a few spike weeks that we need. I think that's very likely to happen. Josh Jacobs, Ken Walker, Chuba Hubbard, Miles Sanders. Maybe we get a running back and attach one of these rookies at the end. Justice Hill's another option. Ja'Cory Krosky is another option. Taj Brooks, another option. Woody Marks, another option. Just Harquez Hunter. There's so many options there that it feels stupid not to get 3 or 4 guys you like and then just click 2 or 3 if you want at the end. Like, it feels stupid not to do that right now. That's kind of the way I'm approaching this. And then you can click your Darius Slayton last round. You can click your Keenan Allen last receiver. You can click your Royals last receiver. Coker. Like, there's so many good guys here. Jack Besh. I mean, there's a little bit. Alec Pierce, even. If I get Alec Pierce, that'd be huge. I don't think I'm going to, but you never know. We already got Michael Pittman, so Alec Pierce might not play this team very well. Michael Wilson, we can kind of try to get some correlation here. Let's see if we can. Let's see. Chargers play the Texans. Noel's already off the board, so that's not an option. Justice Hill just goes off the board to try to get the correlation with Reed. Let's see. Who else do we got? Bills. That's Bills, Eagles. Shipley's still available. Shipley's gone. So that correlation's gone unless you want to go A.J. Dillon, which there's no way in hell I'm clicking A.J. Dillon. Sorry, just not happening. New England has Jets on the other side. Not really anything there. Roshan falls here to 192. That's interesting. Not really a huge Roshan guy. I was clicking him heavy early. So I kind of have my Roshan bag already. Didn't need to get him anyways because he already went off the board. Brashard Smith is getting some hype from Kansas City as well. Giddens is another guy that's interesting. Realistically, the receivers in this range, Adam Thielen would be a really nice get for this team as kind of some stability early on. You know, in the case that maybe one of those other guys, Leggett, and those guys don't work out and Thielen's just decent again, I think this is a very viable spot to get him. I think he can still score touchdowns. I do think he's still viable. Do I think he's great? No. But how much worse is he than Keenan? Not really at all. He's a lot better than Keenan. He's a lot better than Hop at this point still. So I think Thielen is a great selection here. I think we're going to go Thielen, but we need to figure out who our other RB is. We're definitely going to go Thielen. And I think we're going to go we're going to go Harquez Hunter. We're going to steam him up a little bit. Yeah. We're going to go Harquez Hunter. This is a bet that I think that I'm willing to make, that the Rams are like, Kyron is not really like the guy they really want him to be. And we're just going with it. Woody Marks, I think, is a decent bet as well. Like I said, all those guys are just very, very, very much the same. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm kind of looking through my notes here. Rams play the Falcons. We don't really have the correlation. Washington plays the Cowboys. We could have maybe had the Ja'Cory Krosky and Miles Sanders week 17, but I'm okay with not having that. So realistically, right now, we could go Jawan Johnson and get the New Orleans side of the oh my gosh, I'm drawing a total blank right now. The New Orleans side of that New Orleans Tennessee game. We could do that. I don't know that it's really necessary, but we could, in case Colston Loveland maybe takes a little longer than we think. We could go another receiver. I don't know that we need another receiver here. We've realistically got Chase, Judy, Reed, Pittman as our 4 guys who we hope to hit the 3 receiver slots. We know Jamar's going to hit it every week. We know Judy's going to hit it most weeks. We know Reed or Pittman's going to hit it most weeks in that 3rd spot. These guys are just bye week fillers that we hope can do something on those spike weeks. Jawan Johnson goes off the board. If we can get Keenan Allen, I think we take him. I think we take Keenan Allen and we just stick with 5 RBs. I think this is plenty RBs, especially with the room that we have. If we get Keenan Allen in this team and we provide a little bit more stability there with that last receiver spot, I think that's golden. I also think that tight end could be good. I do think either one is fine. But the tight end spot is a tough one because there's not really any great ones sitting here. They're kind of all dried up, and I'd much rather take Keenan over the tight ends here. I'd rather take Taj Brooks over the tight ends here. So it's kind of tough in that regard. But yeah, I mean, Keenan news, I'm kind of curious if we have any. As you can see, I Google this quite often because I have a lot of Keenan. Keenan Allen joining. If he joins the 49ers, that's huge. I mean, that is huge if that happens. I mean, if he joins the Chargers, that's not as huge. But if he does join the 49ers, that's a really big ad for them. I think that's a really big thing for him. Wants to play in Chicago or LA. I mean, that would be the Niners. I mean, that's the Niners right there. Last click, Keenan Allen or Taj Brooks, like that feels really good to click Keenan, honestly. I think it makes sense too. Keenan Allen or Taj Brooks. I mean, I think we could go Taj and it'd be fun too. But realistically speaking, when is Taj hitting the lineup here? Keenan at least has a chance. Yeah, I think we're going to go Keenan. That's beautiful. I mean, realistically, I think that's a really good team. We'll go look at it again just to take a peek. So we got a 2-5-9-2 build. And the 9 being with Jamar is interesting because we really filled out the rest of these positions well. We got 2 savvy vets. We got some upside swings here. I think we did fine. This is a very boring draft as far as rookies go. We got Loveland as an upside swing. We got Harquez. We got 3 guys that are veterans in running back rooms. Very veteran-esque kind of team. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing in this either, because we kind of know what these guys are. Some new situations that I think have some upside. I do think at their price, Thielen and Keenan were extreme values. Obviously, maybe some regression happens, but if Keenan ends up with the 49ers, we're looking at a team that's really good here. Keenan Allen could be the receiver too for the San Fran 49ers. Like that's huge. And he could be right behind Kittle in the target pecking order as far as receivers go. Ayuk could be a bust. Pearsall could be a bust. Jennings, I don't think Jennings is good. I think Keenan's pretty close to Jennings as far as talent level goes. I think this is interesting. I think this is a very interesting team, especially considering we have most of the support for Jamar that we need. And we got the running back crew that we wanted too. So that's really nice. I think we took some real big upside swings here. We definitely got Miles Sanders upside swing here. I like that. Harquez Hunter, we took that. Maybe in hindsight, we should have went Taj Brooks just to have a little bit safer of a running back room. But I feel like Taj Brooks really doesn't add what we need him to. If Chase Brown does go down, Taj is probably the guy that steps up. So maybe that's the thought process we should have had, is maybe Chase Brown goes down. We have Jamar Chase and Taj Brooks, and they're just flinging the ball, and Taj Brooks is the pass catcher. And that's what happens because Zach Moss is not healthy. That could be the case. There's still chances of running backs going to Cincinnati. But at the end of the day, I don't think this is a bad thing at all. I think guys like Ramondre Stevenson could be going to the Cincinnati Bengals. There's some backups. There's some premium backups that don't really make much sense right now for these teams that aren't contenders that I feel like could go to the Bengals if something happens to Chase Brown. So we're going to hop into another Husky here. We need 7 people. But yeah, I think that was a pretty good draft as far as that goes. 9 receivers. I think that's, I don't know. I've done that one other time, and I think it was with Chase, but I think that it's viable to do because of how long you wait to get receivers, and you want to make sure that you're getting receivers that have provided value, and you got them at a discount. Like, I was more than willing to go Taj Brooks if Keenan wasn't there, but Keenan Allen as a last round pick just feels too good to pass. Especially considering the quarterback room that I had. I think the quarterback room was really nice. So I think it's very, I don't want to say the quarterback room is safe because there's never anything safe about doing this, but yeah. I think that was a fun room. We got 4 people. So let me type in here +4 Husky. See if we can get 4 people in here. Real quickly, I want to see something really quick. If Mason's still live, he's doing a flock draft, so he's not even doing these. Never mind. Let's see. All right. But yeah, I think that Jamar team's really fun. My Jamar teams are really fun because, like, I think we got 2 of them now in this. Let's see. Is it this one? No. So my other Jamar team is a 2-5-9-2 as well. It's got Jacobs, Amarion, and Chuba, Tank, Eckler. So it took a little bit more running back. It took a little bit better of a running back here. So that's cool. So receiver-wise, we still ended up with Keenan at 193. Troy Franklin, Darius Slayton, Pat Bryant, Christian Kirk, Stephon Diggs, Ricky Pearsall, DJ Moore. This room is amazing. Like, this is a really good tight end room too. The only bad part about this is we didn't get the elite quarterback up top. We got Purdy, which I think Purdy has the potential to be that. And then Aaron Rodgers is kind of the boring backup that we don't really care about. But Purdy's going to have a really good season to have this team really have a chance. And I think it's possible. I mean, this other build here, I think I like this build a lot better. I like the little bit weaker running back here in Harquez Hunters because if something happens to Kyron, guess what? we get a guy who's going to instantly go in and be a guy for Sean McVay and be in a creative offense. So that's huge to me. We have guys at receiver that makes sense. We have some tight end love here. We basically have the same tight ends, only we have Loveland instead of Warren. Some interesting things there. Another 101. Oh, man. We're going to have 3 Jamar Chase teams in this contest. You got to love it. You got to love it again. Oh, man. We might not max this contest. Oh, man. I'm ecstatic right now. Yes. We love to see this. In high stakes, I've been complaining nonstop that I have not gotten Jamar Chase in high stakes really at all. I've gotten him 3 times in this contest. So I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I am ecstatic. Another Jamar Chase team. Another one bites the dust. Let's build Jamar Chase out differently. Let's do it. Why not? Why not? If you guys are new, though, make sure y'all are dropping a like. It helps me grow, and it helps my channel out. So if you guys are new, I would greatly appreciate it. We do have a sharp guy next to us, so we really need to pay attention here. We got a couple sharp guys in the room. We got a lot of sharp guys in the room, honestly. Yeah, a lot of sharp guys in this room. Aaron, I recognize that name. Willie Hunt, I recognize both those names. Wonka, I think I recognize that name. A lot of sharp guys, like I said. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. So, but yeah, hopefully you guys had a good Tuesday. It is only Tuesday, which sucks because, man, I'm exhausted from this week. Like, it's only Tuesday and I'm already tired. Like, trying to get off this real quick. All right, it's just crazy, man. CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley, Jefferson off at the 103. I have been seeing people take Jefferson or not take Jefferson in the top 6. If I ever see that and I'm in the top 6, if I'm in the top 6, I'm taking him at 4. Like, that's where I'm taking him right now. And the only people I'm taking over him right now are obviously Chase. I'm taking Bijan, and I'm taking Lamb, and then I'm taking Jefferson. And then it goes Gibbs, Saquon for me personally right now. Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua. Oh, I could really use some water right now. And I don't have any drink near me. So I may go get a drink real quick. Let me go get a drink real quick. I'll be right back. Give me just a second here, chat. Wow, I am muted. Yes, I am, Shane. James Cook. Yep, that's who I was looking at. So that sucks. Is what it is. We're gonna go Ken Walker. I'm not gonna go Chuba this time. Instead, I'm gonna bring up Kamara. Get a little different. That sucks because I really wanted Cook there. Oh, that really sucks. That blows. Is what it is. Is what it is. Sometimes there's only so much you can do. Man, that sucks. Because if we had gotten James Cook with this team, the upside potential for James Cook touchdown wise is so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So we get Josh Jacobs, Ken Walker, Alvin Kamara, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Pretty good. Pretty good, I'd say. And T. Higgins is the best receiver, too, that we've drafted so far with Chase teams. So, and I will say that this is what a lot of people try to do is the Higgins bet. I think you got to bet. If you're going to bet on this offense, you bet with the receivers and not Chase Brown. I could be wrong, though. I think T. Higgins is better than Garrett Wilson, straight up. I think T. Higgins is better than Marv. The only other guy I was considering bringing up was Breece Hall and going Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs. I thought about doing that, but, beggars can't be choosers. If I had done that, I think what I would have done is Jamar Chase, Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, Ken Walker, and then would have gotten like Cortland Sutton here. And I probably would have been ecstatic about that. Just to have Cortland Sutton, Jamar Chase, and Breece Hall, Ken Walker, Josh Jacobs, Breece Hall. But I'm okay with Alvin K. I truly am. Like, I think Alvin K is a really good player, and I think he's definitely the focal point for a team, so that makes a lot of sense to draft him. Is it a good team? No, but he's proven it time in, time again that he is the bell cow for that team. He does have, I don't like to use this word with using best ball terms, but he does have a pretty good floor as far as what his running back potential is. So, we got our home run hitters in Jacobs and Ken. I think that's great for us. I do think that Burrow is going to be the quarterback that we get. And then we got to figure out our next receiver, which honestly, if we can bring one of these guys up, one of these two, or Reed, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to bring up Egbuka. People are starting to bring up Egbuka a little bit more out of my range. I get the hype. I truly do. But, like, bringing Egbuka up to this range to me is a little bit too far. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm not willing to do it. I like Egbuka, but I'm not willing to put him up here with Judy and Debo and Jacoby and Addison. Like, I'm not there. Mixon off the board at 64. That's the earliest I've seen him go tonight. Ahead of ADP even. I got Mixon at almost pick 100 earlier today, which is kind of crazy, all things considered. Where's the Chase Brown team? Because that's literally the only team I'm worried about taking Burrow. And I don't think he's going to go Burrow because his receivers are absolutely horrible. So he'd be kind of stupid to go Burrow. We'll put it that way. Because his receivers are just abysmal. And that's really the only thing that I think I have to worry about. Definitely there could be somebody that takes Burrow for just the projection. But that usually doesn't happen in these rooms. Because these people are all pretty freaking sharp. So Swift off the board. See, this is where I'm glad I have 3 RBs that anchor the team, because I don't really love the running backs here either. They're like the last tail end of the RB ones, and okay, well, and this is where we crash out a little. Okay, so what else can I do? I can go Ricky Reed. I'm okay with doing that. Let's do that. We're gonna go Ricky and Reed. We're just gonna pull them up ahead of Judy. I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's annoying, but the first time I ever try to get the double and I don't get it is what it is, I guess, and we move on. Dude just takes him naked. Is what it is. Is what it is. Don't really understand it, but hey, is what it is. We've already bought the receivers. We've already bought the offense, so it's whatever to me. I mean, we got the upside that we want anyways. The saddest part about it is if it comes down to like me and him in this pod and it's a shootout for the Cincinnati Bengals week 17 against the Arizona Cardinals, my team is going to outperform his because it's going to be Jamar Chase and T. Higgins getting 6 points per touchdown and his Joe Burrow getting 4. And I'm going to laugh at his face because of what he did. So, take that for what it is. Like I said, you can't control it, so just move on. Kind of sucks, but is a naked Joe worse than a naked Hurts? It's a lot worse than a naked Hurts. At least naked Hurts, I can justify the rushing upside. Joe Burrow, there's no rushing upside at all. You're literally let's look at Joe Burrow rushing upside. Nice 200 yards and 2 touchdowns with 5 fumbles, by the way. Nice. So if you get this season again, I wonder who's going to be the guys performing for him. Well, at least with Hurts. Oh, wow. Wow, naked Hurts really makes a lot of sense. Man. At least there's a reason to draft naked Hurts. Man. I just don't know ball, I guess. Is what it is. Dude, my calves are like tight as crap right now. Like they are so tight. I'm glad I got Pearsall with this team though. You know what we could do? Let me cook real quick. The Jamar Chase T. Higgins team, right? We get Kyler Murray. It's a shootout. We get Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray runs in touchdowns, right? Let's get a little Kyler Murray action with Michael Wilson. Throws a touchdown to Michael Wilson week 17. And then runs it in. Oh man, what a time to be alive that will be if that dream scenario comes true. Went from a Pearsall hater to a lover. Hey, I recognize my wrongs, And let's be real. I was wrong about Ayuk's health. I don't know that we're going to get to see Ayuk before week 8. I mean, I know that's a bold claim, but I'm kind of doubting it at this point. I mean, they say the recovery's going well and yada, 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 but like, how good is Ayuk going to be to shake off such a long rust? And Jennings, I've never been a Jennings guy. So that leaves Kittle and that leaves Ricky Pearsall. So, I mean, maybe I'm just wrong about the Niners in general and they just suck. I just don't think they suck. So it's hard for me not to sit up here and be like, yeah, I'm okay with clicking Niners. I just think they have one of the easiest schedules this year's too. So that makes sense as well. So, I mean, it just all makes sense for that to pan out for them in a good way. So that's how I feel. We were kind of sort of thinking about maybe doing a Mahomes Kelsey kind of deal, but it didn't fall to us. Is what it is. This guy has 5 running backs. I don't know what he's doing. And 2 receivers. Okay. I mean, naked Baker makes more sense than naked Burrow, right? Like, right? Make it make sense. Well, it's my justification. It makes more sense than that. So, yeah. I think what we could do here. I don't love the receivers here. I don't really want to take Kelsey yet again. Let's see. Let's go Purdy. Yeah, let's go Purdy. And I want to push Andrews here, I think, a little bit. Yeah, we're going to push Andrews. Because what we're going to try to do is build it out the Green Bay way. Even if Ayuk returns, I don't see him returning the value used to get him. Definitely better to just take another guy that can fill into the flex instead of taking another unnecessary risk. Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense because like Ayuk, we've seen him be an elite guy before. I mean, shoot, we used to put him in the same sentence as CeeDee Lamb and those guys. I mean, we really used to put him in the same sentence as those guys. It's just hard. It's just tough. So here's my thought process here. We play that Ravens Green Bay week 17 out, right? With Reed and Andrews. Oh, okay. Reed, Andrews, and Love and Jacobs. So we play that fantasy out, and Jamar and Higgins just go AWOL, balls to the walls, crazy. And we're there. We're showing up week 17 with 50 G's in our pocket, right? I mean, what could be more perfect? Am I right or am I right? Like, let's be real with ourselves. Dude, okay, what is Baker doing falling? Like, what is this? Somebody take him for the value, strictly value, please. Like, this is getting out of hand. Dude. Dude. Oh, my gosh. We're really going to let the Evans team get him with these? Okay. Okay. Interesting. This is an interesting build because 4 RBs, he's got Genty, Achane, Harvey Henderson. By the way, that's really fun at running back. He probably takes one more and he's done. Then he has Evans, Worthy. He doesn't tap receiver. Okay. So he has Baker. So he only has 3 receivers. I don't love that immediately. I don't. It's fine because one of those running backs you're banking on, panning out between Harvey and Travion to fill the flex every week. One of them's not going to play every week. You really need your receivers here to pan. I like Downs. I like Downs. I like Worthy. I like the guys he got, except Evans. Evans is fine though. Like I can justify that pick. What's the strat? What do you mean, what's the strat? You should have been here earlier, bro. I've literally drafted like 2 chase teams tonight. Which it sucks because somebody took my freaking Joe Burrow from me. That really sucks. Because like I get like I've done that to a few people before. I'm not gonna lie, I have. But it just sucks when you get it the one time and it's just like, oh yay, I'm finally gonna get it, and then you don't get it, and it's like, oh yay, I didn't get it. He takes Tucker Kraft. I really wanted to get Tucker Kraft there. We might double stack the Green Bay here and go Dobbs Reed. I think that's an interesting way to play this. 2 Green Bay, 2 Bengals. I think it's really interesting to go that route. Seattle has a pretty nice schedules. Indy, Rams, and Carolina last 3 weeks. So that's really interesting. I think if we go Love, we kind of need to do that because it makes sense to do that because Love's going to realize his potential by throwing the rock like that much. Yeah. And Romeo Dobbs is a comfortable distance away to where we can do it. I think we go Njoku and Love here and just go crazy and be done at tight end. So you go Njoku and Jordan Love. Right? Oh, Dak's still sitting there. Dak for value would be nice, but I'm going to go Love. I'm going to stick to what I said. We're going to stick to it. I like it. It's different. It is what it is. We got Andrews and Njoku at tight end. Two very good, viable tight ends. Two tight ends playing for contracts next year, by the way. So I like the sense of urgency that's probably going to be coming out of both of them. Our receiver room, we got Chase, Higgins, Pearsall, Reed. Running back room, we got Jacobs, Ken, Kamara. So next round, we're going to have to go running back, receiver. And I think they're going to go Dobbs. Tank is an option. Let's see. Who else do we have as an option? Davis is an option. Who else do we have on the flip side of these games? Baltimore, I'm not doing that. The Bears, not doing that. Cardinals, we go Benson. Let's see. Cleveland, Steelers, Warren's gone. Warren's long gone. What am I saying? Crab back in the day was trying to get me to rank the teams of everyone in the league every day. Yeah, he's just washed. Two trash tight ends. I don't know how they're trash, but okay. I mean, Andrews was a top 7 or 8 tight end, and then Njoku, when he's on the field, is a top 3 tight end when he's performing. So, not really sure, on a point per game basis, and Njoku's up there with the best of the best. I don't know, man. We're up in 12 picks. I don't know that we're going to get any of these guys, but, we can hope. We can hope and we can pray. That's all we can do. Andrews is going to fall off. I don't think Andrews is going to fall off. Likely got carted off. It sounds like his injury is very serious. Probably going to be out a few weeks. And that's all I needed to hear for Mark Andrews. So I don't think Likely is going to present a threat this year. So I really, really like Mark Andrews. And I've been taking Mark Andrews. So, I'm just kind of adding to it at this point. If we look at my exposures real quick, Njoku is one of my highest ones. Andrews is at 10%. I'd like to be a little higher than 10%, but it's where I'm at. So I like it a lot. My Dynasty Likely. I think Dynasty Likely is really good, though, because Andrews most likely is going to get paid by another team, not named the Ravens. Who cares if he's slower? He's a tight end. Who cares? Who cares if you're slow when you score freaking 11 touchdowns? Who cares? And what, do you think Hopkins is going to present a better red zone presence than Mark Andrews? Like, let's be honest with ourselves. That's never happening. Okay, all of our running backs went. That's unfortunate. Sharp drafter here, pushing Bigsby up to 138. That's probably about where he should be. Ravens, Hopkins. That's so nasty. Derrick Henry. Sure, but 11, who's their receiving threat in the red zone? His name is Mark Andrews. Period. Exclamation point. That's their guy. They're looking for a receiver in the red zone. Guess who it is? Mark Andrews. Period. Not willing to go a second Brown. I'm just not doing it. Do we want to go Leggett? We're definitely going to go Dobbs. I just got to figure out what running back we want to go. Eckler? Eckler's good. Yeah, we're going to go Eckler. Dobbs and Eckler. Okay. He'll be top 12 if he doesn't get a touchdown. He's cooked that week. I mean, that's why you got Njoku. Samson off the board. Tillman. So we got Green Bay double stack here, which is nice. We got the Green Bay double. We got Purdy and Pearsall. Tight end room is Andrews and Njoku. Got an interesting little team here. I think it's interesting. Now we really need to start loading and see what we can do at running back, or not running back, receiver. to get some upside swings because that's what we're going to need. Why don't I grab more Garindo? What do you mean, why don't I grab more Garindo? Where is he? I have 11.3% of Garindo. What do you mean? It's one of my highest owned running backs. I mean, geez, I don't know how much more you want me to grab of him. Eckler, I need to get a little bit more of. Never seen me take him? Well, it's probably because I got him a lot early. I was just making the play against CMC. I don't like CMC whatsoever. Let's see. Okay, some upside swings. We got Pat Bryant. Robinson's not really that. Alec Pierce is that. Wilson as a week 8 or week 17 play, I'm down for. Slayton is fun. It's like the same guys I keep clicking here. Let's find somebody new. Jalen Lane is interesting. Let's see. Tolbert. Not really there with Tolbert. Booty's interesting. Turpin's interesting. Burton is interesting. Noah Brown is kind of interesting. Ray. I'm just queuing up a bunch of guys at this point. Let's see. I just want to have a selection of guys when it gets there. Okay. Never seen me take him? I mean, yeah, I get it. Let's see. Tight end, we're done. Running back room. Probably need one more, maybe two. Quarterback room. I'd be okay if we got a value in A-Rich. Like last round A-Rich. I don't think the rooms are too sharp for probably me to let that happen. This guy still has no tight end. Just gross. And he's got Judy, Cedric, and Judkins. Gross. I'm glad I'm competing against the like you wasted Joe Burrow, man. That just makes me want to crash out. Makes me want to crash out, bro. Oh my god. Takes Joe Burrow and then he gets a Cleveland triple. Like, what are you doing, bro? That's so nasty. I'm okay with going Ford. Yeah, I think Ford's like and Sanders. Those are the two guys that I'm okay. Yeah, we're going to go Bryant. We're smacking Bryant for sure for upside reasons. Is Ford the guy? We don't need early, really. We need upside there because we already got guys there that we like. We're going to go Pierce. Yeah, we're going to double tap there. Don't laugh. One of my sleepers this year is Nick Westbrook-Akine. Ouch. That's rough. Nick Westbrook-Akine. That guy's not talented hardly at all. I like this team. Purdy, Jordan Love, pretty solid quarterback play. We got Jacobs, Ken Walker, Alvin Kamara, Austin Eckler, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Ricky Pearsall, Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Pat Bryant, Alec Pierce, Mark Andrews, and David Njoku. That's pretty fun. Like I said, I wish we got Kraft instead of Dobbs, and then we didn't have to feel like we were cornered into taking Dobbs, but it is what it is. Prediction for QB1, RB1, receiver 1, and tight end 1. QB1, Josh Allen. Not really a hot take there, honestly. You love Jacobs? Yeah, I love Jacobs. Jacobs is just really easy to click because he's a guy that stays on the field. He's a guy who's a touchdown machine for a team that doesn't have a red zone presence. And he's a guy that is signed to a good deal. So, and he's on a good team. So kind of helps. That all those factors add into him being that good. And He plays Denver, Chicago, Baltimore, which I get Denver's good, but like Chicago, Baltimore, ain't nobody worried about them last few weeks. So he has a good playoff schedule too. So that helps also. Oh, finishing out my predictions. QB1, Josh Allen. Running back 1, Bijan. I'm not really shying away from the Bijan. Receiver 1, I think, is going to be... Receiver 1's tough. I think receiver 1 this year is probably CD. It's close, though. It's either CD or Nico for me as a hot take. I still think Chase is probably going to be there, but I think it's CD or Nico. And then tight end 1 is probably going to be McBride, if I had to take a guess. But, yeah. Right now, my rankings are Chase 1, Lamb 2, Jefferson 3, Nico 4 is kind of where I'm at with the receivers at this point for this year. You know, I think we could be done at receiver. Can we be done at receiver realistically? I think we can. Because one of these Green Bay guys we hope hits. Ricky Pearsall, we hope, is a good receiver 2 or 3. And we hope that the Bengals guys hit most weeks. So, and then we got some upside swings here. I think we can wait on receiver a little bit. I do think that it's viable to look at running back here and look at like a Rico Dowdle and say maybe there's some room there. It's not bad if we could get that to happen. Justice Hill, some week 17 correlation and week 15 correlation, honestly, with the Bengals. The Ravens have an interesting schedule the last 3 weeks because they play Cincinnati, New England, and Green Bay, and 2 of those games I feel like could be shootouts. So I think it's real interesting to go that route. I think we're going to go A-Rich here. And hear me out when I say this. We're going to pair up A-Rich with Pierce. I think that's a high upside swing there. And I do think Justice Hill is kind of the last guy we're going to take in that RB room. So that's our RB room. Not really super anything exciting, but I think it's fun because you have guys that can hit lineups every week. All 5 of these guys have potential to maybe hit a lineup. So I think that's good. A-Rich, if he can do what I think he can, there might be a week or 2 that he spikes ahead of both these guys with rushing upside. So I think that's a very viable play. And then I think one more receiver is what we take. And I don't know who that receiver is going to be yet, but let's see. Baltimore, Miami, and Arizona for the Bengals. That's a pretty dang good last 3 weeks. So are the Falcons. The Falcons got Tampa Bay, Arizona, and LA. That's nice. We could go. I don't think Ray McLeod is really going to be viable, though, by that point. We could go A.D. Mitchell. That's interesting. Jamar and T, no Burrow is chopped. I mean, it doesn't help that the dude sniped him naked, so, and took Kyler. So this guy literally just preyed on my downfall. He said, you know what? That guy got both Jamar and T. Higgins. You know what? I'm just going to take both quarterbacks from the week 17, uncorrelated, by the way, and just say, screw this guy. Oh, never mind. He got Marvin Harrison. I lied. So he just countered me with Kyler Murray, basically, is what he did. He literally just sat there and targeted me. Nice, bro. So I just got targeted in this draft for week 17. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, moving on. Whoever did that is an interesting character. That's all I'm going to say. Interesting character. So, is what it is. That's my burner. Yeah. All right, bro. I'm sure it is. I'm sure that is. Krosky Merritt. That's a good pick. So is Taj, though. Taj Brooks is a really good pick right now, too. This is a fun little RB room. Genty, Achane, Harvey, Travion, Taj. Just talk about leaning into the rookies. I like that room. And Achane. Like, that's a fun room. It's a really fun room to see. And then you got Evans, Worthy, Downs, Kyle Williams, Jack. A lot of rookies. Lots of rookies. Who's his tight ends? Hawkins and Kelsey. He gets Kelsey at a pretty good value. A lot of rookies, though, in his receiver room. I don't know that that's going to be a good thing for him, but let's see. Jalen Lane could be interesting as a receiver. So could Kayshon Boutte. We know Mac Hollins is going to be in this room, though. That's what makes that tough to draft him. Coker's fun. Let's see. Who else is here that's fun? That could make some sense. I think Coker makes some sense to take as a guy who could excel. Because, I mean, let's be real. If we make the bet that Adam Thielen is just going to be old and be trash, that's a bet that I could make. I think it's an interesting bet you can make too. The Seahawks, don't they play Carolina? Yeah, that's the bet we're gonna make. We're gonna make Coker bet. We're gonna make a Coker bet. So we went 3, 5, 8, 2 is what we went. 3, 5, 8, 2. So let's see. Let's refresh here. 3, 5, 8, 2. We got Purdy, Love, A-Rich, Jacobs, Ken Walker, Alvin Kamara, Austin Eckler, Justice Hill, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Ricky Pearsall, Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Pat Bryant, Alec Pierce, Jalen Coker, Mark Andrews, and David Njoku, rounding out that team. So we only have 3 more entries left into that contest, which I will probably be doing on Friday, if the contest is still around. Hopefully it will be. I mean, these contests seem to fill in like 48 hours now these days. So we'll see. It's already 22% full on day 1. So we'll see. It's been out since noon. So we'll see what happens by noon tomorrow. That'll be officially the first 24 hours. So we'll see what happens and go from there. But yeah, the contests that are out right now, that's really the only one I'm interested in. The Chihuahua's okay. I just don't love the advancement rates. I mean, one a 9, one a 6, 2 a 12. That's really hard to advance. The Husky, on the other hand, you got to be 3 of 12, 2 of 8, and then 1 of 6. So obviously the last round's the hardest to get through. And honestly, if you make it to that last round anyway, let's take a peek real quick and see how many players are going to be there at that last round. There'll be 702 entries. So 702 entries, you'll make $75. So you'll be making like $35 if you make it to the quarterfinals. So I mean that's good. If you make it through one round, you get your money back. If you make it the top 3, you get your money back, which is nice. That's kind of where I'm at with it. So 2,808 entries. Obviously, you get your money. You get $5 profit actually. So if you just make it out of the top 3, you're getting your money. You're making $5, which is a pretty good format overall. I think first place $50,000, second 35, 27.5, 20, 15, 10, 75, and so on. I think it's a pretty good format overall. This might be the second or third best format that they put out. The Bulldog is pretty good. The Chow was pretty good. Like I said, I think the Bulldog, this is probably their best one that they put out because it is 3 advanced, 2 of 6, 1 of 4. It's a very small contest. You only get 2 bullets at it, obviously. And the breakdown here, $75 if you make it out of the first round, 100 bucks if you make it to the next round. And then if you make that 31 seat final, you're looking at $300. So you make, let's see, what, quadruple your money. So that's nice. 20K to first. Not a super big prize up top, but I'm okay with that. I think these are the perfect size for contests. Obviously, there's only 1,400 entries, and you only get 2 bullets. I think it's perfect. I think this is next to perfect. Chow Chow. This is a $50 entry, only 5,500 participants. 2-2-2 all the way through. A little bit harder to advance. So you kind of want to have a little bit more upside swings there. I didn't get one chase team in this at all. So we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're getting close to being done with draft season. So we still have one poodle slow going. But yeah, that's kind of going to be the end of my stream. So like I said, drop a like if you guys are new. And I will see you next time. And until next time.